Well, good morning, Sean. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you a part of the show. So our focus today is going to be music and the arts.
Yep.
But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been at the school, some of those sort of things.
Sure. So I've been at Tyndale this is my 10th year now, and I've been teaching music most of that time. I've also taught a bit of IT in the past and do a bit of maths. So music is my main role here and has been for most of the time in the middle school.
And you're a musician yourself?
Yeah, I'm a musician myself. So I was a self-taught musician, and then I did a year at TAFE and got into the Elder Conservatorium from there. So yeah, my bachelor is in jazz music. So yeah, I have a degree in making stuff up.
Great. Okay. So tell us about music then in the middle school. They do music in junior school, then they come into middle school. Tell us about how it's structured, some of the things that they do.
Sure. So in year 6, we pick up a lot of students coming into year 6, obviously, an extra couple of classes. So we'll spend a bit of time covering some basic stuff, and to do that, I use a lot of percussion instruments. So we start off doing a section on percussion. So we've got a whole bunch of djembes, bongos, and we try to put together some pieces and get the kids composing right from the start of year 6. So that even if they haven't done music before, they can generally achieve well on that. We then do a little bit of work on the keyboard and the recorder. So I'm trying to sneak in some pitch stuff there, and also get the students able to play as an ensemble in a classroom environment, if that makes sense, as early as they can in year 6. In year 7, we go on and learn a bit about the guitar and the keyboard, do a bit further on that. And once again, I'm trying to keep a little bit of focus on being able to compose, because I find if students are able to make their own music, that's a very rewarding thing. And also being able to play in a classroom situation as an ensemble is something that fulfills us as people. So, and then moving into year 8 and 9, I have a little bit of a different approach there. I don't teach so much focused on particular instruments, but try to teach about music concepts. So we look about the things that influence music here in Australia as well as around the world. And then year 9 is really the year where we try to put it together so we're able to I guess imitate or cover songs that they may be hearing on the radio, as well as writing their own pieces and trying to get it to a standard where it sounds similar to what they're hearing or similar to what they're aiming to create as a class. So yeah, as a music teacher, I think it's very important that students are playing together, because like I said before, that fulfills us as people. It's something that we really enjoy doing in the arts. And also being able to reinforce that they can create their own music. And of course, we've got a lot more tools enabling us to do that.
Yeah.
We've got a lovely big room here that we're sitting in at the moment, which is an excellent room for being able to teach in a classroom setting, sitting at desks, but also has a big wide open space where the students can get their hands dirty on their instruments and make some music. And next door we have a Mac lab, which has been really fantastic in taking students from being able to write their own music to being able to put it into computers and then being able to hear the end result back. So giving instant feedback on what they're hearing. Just did a really good project with some year 8s where they were able to do that process, write their own music on paper, put it into a computer. They were able to export that into GarageBand and improve the sound of it. And then some of them even went to the step of adding their own artwork in iTunes. So they went home with a MP3 which they'd written, they'd composed, and had some artwork that they'd added to it.
Fantastic. It's always interesting to walk into the Mac lab and hear a music lesson going on, or maybe to not hear a music lesson because they've got their headphones on, and that's fantastic. So Sean, we've talked about music in the classroom.
Yep.
How else within the middle school does music come into play? I know we've got a chapel band. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the chapel band is really headed up by Mr. Morn, who does a fantastic job working with the students, and I support him in that. It's an opportunity for students who want to be involved in praise and worship on a Friday. They play for our assemblies and chapels and lead the students in worship. So Mr. Morton takes them through the process of choosing songs that are going to be appropriate, learning them as a band, and talking about what they can speak about before they start them on the Friday. And they run that process. So it's mainly a band with a large choir to encourage people to get involved. And it's been really successful. I'm really happy with how they're going this year.
So one final question for you, Sean. Where to in the future? Hopes and dreams, where would you like to head?
Yeah, I'd love to see at Tyndale for us to have a band program. I think that's going to be a step forward for us as a school to have that running extracurricular as well as being part of what we do here in the music classroom, to support what we do, but also cross over into an extracurricular. Plus, having choirs that are really strongly representing us in the community, I think would be a really good thing as well. And I think we have the capabilities to do that in the next few years. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us this morning.
No worries.
That's great.